Welcome back to the channel. If you've ever wanted to buy a lemon cypress tree, now is a great time to do it. It's right after the holidays and the stores have them on sale for sometimes up to 75% off. I purchased this lemon cypress 1 year ago from a local greenhouse, and I put it outside during the summer and it doubled, almost tripled in size. Today what I'm going to do is I am going to transform this cute little tree into a topiary. If you're interested, stay tuned and we'll do that right now. The one thing you want to do is always make sure that your plant is well hydrated. I already hydrated this shrub this morning, so we should be good to go. Now what I want to look at is the form, kind of see how it's naturally looking. We have some dead and dried up pieces here. We kind of have a flat side here. I probably had this away from the sun or maybe against the sun. And then this side clearly was facing where the sun was, and that's why it's so filled out. But we can work with that. It ain't going to be a problem. I'm going to use the cuttings as propagations too. So I'm going to try to take care of many things in this video. You want to make sure you use a sterile pruner. I've removed this pot from the cover pot to make sure I have full access to it and I can see. And as I turn it around, you can definitely see the differences in the shape. So what I'm thinking is I am going to create two balls. So I'll come in for the first ball and then I'll start creating the second ball. So to do that, I'm going to try to determine where I want this top ball to stop. And I'm just going to start taking cuttings on the inside. So we're going to take it in probably right about here. And I'm just going to start making cuttings and give it a little bit of a haircut. I'm just going to let them sit on the counter for now. And we're going to go around and just cut. And I'm going to take it down to the stem. It smells really good. Definitely smells like lemon. My cat's playing with the toy. I don't know if you can hear the ball rolling around. I thought she had taken a nap, but I don't think she did. So again, I'm just continuing to cut them a little bit. One of the rules for when you prune a plant is to understand that everywhere you prune, it's actually going to have the plant create new shoots. But I'm trying to get the basic shape figured out first. And as I turn this around, you can see how this is kind of wonky. It's kind of hanging out there. So I'm going to take these and prune a little bit more off them. I just find it easier just to kind of let it drop down where I'm at. You can use the scissors too on some of these if you want. And try to get the basic shape figured out. It's really nice because where I'm pruning, it will actually come and fill in. So giving everything kind of a little nip will help it grow, which it seems counterintuitive, but that's just how nature works. It actually helps it fill out. And again, I'm just taking more cuttings here. Try to do it so you can see. Just gonna take it light pruning. So lemon cypress is not cold hardy for my zone. I think it's a zone 8 plant, and even at zone 8, I think people have to protect it for the winter. I'm in zone 4 outside of Minneapolis. And I can definitely see they're turning up a little bit. So we're going to get in here, do a little bit deeper cutting. So now I want to kind of determine where this upper ball is. So we have the growth points that are here, and I'm simply going to cut those off. And that will help to create the ball on the top. And it will take some additional pruning to kind of get where we want it to be. The biggest thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a shelf layer here and go down a little bit further. So my first thing, you can see it's kind of coming together. Also, I have this dead branching in here. I'm going to cut that off and throw it. It got too dry. So the big thing with lemon cypress is it does not like to dry out. So you definitely want to make sure you keep them hydrated. And what I find that works is I check it out once a week. And I'd simply submerge it till it's fully hydrated and then I wait. I have not had good luck letting them go 2 weeks without being watered. So you can kind of see this top ball here, and I'm going to continue to prune going down in to make this a more defined ball. My cat's not happy, if you can hear her. She wants attention. This is a little rascal. Her name is Annabelle. She's making all that noise. Making noise. Yes. She's a new kitty to us. We've only had her for a few months. She's not quite a year old. I think she's probably only about 9 months. All right, so I'm going to continue pruning. Kind of go into the plant a little bit to make sure that we can define a definite opening for the balls. A lot of times people are afraid to do pruning, and unless you cut it off at the root, you should be fine. They will grow back. That's a nice thing about it. I'm going to bring the camera on this side so that you have a better view of what I'm doing, but you can see it's really starting to take shape. This side's going to be a little bit, oops, this side's going to be a little bit flat, but that's okay. I'm going to grab the camera and we're going to zoom in. I'm trying to find a setup will work so you can actually see what I'm doing, not simple. This is a pretty good sized plant. So I'm going down to the stems here. Hopefully you can see. I'm going into the stems and trying to remove all these little branches off from here, which will help define the lollipop stick basically of the top ball. I'm going to rotate it, try to get in here. Really don't want to cut this one off because I really want to make sure that I maintain something for this ball. I can get these side shoots in there. This one can come off. You can kind of see I've got these, I've got to get the trimmings out of the way so I can see what I got going on here. Yeah, this can be, some things are cut and some things are not, but yeah, I'm going to continue to prune the rest of these and get in here. It takes a little bit of time to get this done. Oh, kitty kitty. She's actually in heat right now, so that's why she's doing that. We haven't been able to get her to the vet to get her fixed yet. But we will get there. We'll get there. So I'm just gonna, I'm gonna turn this in so you can kind of see what I see, hopefully. I'm gonna trim these down a little bit because it will help to create that second ball down below. I'm trying to just do the tips. And it might take it in a little bit, but when I put it out and on the, for the summer out on the porch, it'll continue to do its thing. And now that I've pruned it, it will really start creating secondary branching and help it fill out. Yeah, so you can see I probably, this was listed for $34, $35 a year ago, but I got it for $10. So that was really kind of nice. You want one to have some structure when you get it. And you can get a smaller one than this and do it too. I just think letting it grow for a year and getting it a little bit bigger gives you a little bit more material to work with. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these cuttings and we're going to talk about old wood and new wood. So the dark brown you can see on this is the old wood, and the green growth is the new wood. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just remove some of these branches, these side branches, and it is a little pokey. You might want to wear gloves to do this because those spikes do kind of hurt when you pull on them. And I'm not going to use rooting hormone. I'm just going to stick it into this planting medium. This is just regular potting soil, and I've pre-moistened it. And then what I'm going to do, here's a green. I'll put it in this side. We'll see how they work. We'll just do a little bit of each. Softwood cutting versus a hardwood cutting. I'll just make a bunch of them. If they all turn out, that would be wonderful. There's kind of a combination. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this tub in a propagation bin, which is a big Rubbermaid container, and that should work. I find that a lot of times you don't need to put rooting hormone on things, that they will find their way without doing that. I'm going to cut this green off and try to get back to only the brown. I'll cut that off. I'll just pick up the little pieces when I'm done. I really like the Lemon Cypress. Again, I think it's beautiful. They're good to use as little Christmas trees, something you can use as a gift. But they just are not cold hardy for me, so I have to arrange to have it in the house for the winter. That's got to be cut off. It's a little bit too long. I'll try to mist this when I'm done too. I have a lot more softwood cuttings, meaning the green, than I do the hardwood cuttings. And even when they're odd like this, you only need to put so much in. A lot of times reducing how much green you have on there is good because there's really no roots to support the growth, right? So you would typically remove as much vegetation to have it not transpire and lose its moisture. But I'm going to put this in a chamber that's going to be pretty humid, so that will help. I've treated this soil by heat treating it. I microwaved it for 90 seconds to try to get any kind of fungus gnats or eggs that would be living in the soil out of there, just as a precautionary measure. Starting without fungus gnats is usually ideal. It's like a little mini Christmas tree farm. It's kind of cute, actually. I'm assuming it's going to take at least 4 months before I see roots on this. Maybe they'll grow faster, but I will check back later and see. Now is a good time to mention that if you're not subscribed to my channel, you might want to do so, so when I do follow-up videos, you don't miss anything. I love doing propagation. It's like one of my favorite things to do. Try to take the strongest stems I got. Got lots of little pieces. Oh, it smells so lemony. It smells wonderful. We could probably use it as potpourri in the house. Take lots of different pieces. We'll shove it in. Anytime you do propagations, you expect you're going to lose some of them. I have no idea how many of these are going to make it. But with a good humidity chamber so they don't dehydrate on me, it should be pretty good. The biggest key when you're doing propagations is you don't want their cuttings to dry out. That will be the death of them for sure. The only thing that's an exception for, of course, would be a cactus or a succulent. But all right, I'm getting kind of full in the pot here. I got a lot of cuttings left. All right, so looks like a little Christmas tree pot, but yeah, that will work really good. And like I said, I'll put this in a propagation tub to keep the humidity up. Here, Kitty has found a little box to sit in. What are you doing? She's crazy. So this is what my little propagation tray looks like. I think it looks wonderful. I'll seal it up in a Rubbermaid container, which will hold pretty good humidity. I'll come in once a week and I'll make sure that it's well watered. And then I will make sure that I spritz the top of it with rubbing alcohol to make sure any fungus gnats that got in that I take care of right away. As far as this little topiary, I'm going to probably come through and do a little trim again. You can come through in the topiary and do a little bit of trimming all the way around. Next, I'm going to take a scissor. I'm going to nip just the ends of anything that's left, and that will create more growth points. And that's what you want, which will make it fill out and make it look really nice. So again, I'm just gonna see if I can do this without, just take just a itty bitty haircut, remembering that it's gonna create that ability of the plant to bush out. Not with just this kind of plant, most all plants will do that. The one thing about evergreens, cypresses and stuff, when you nip the top, it actually sets the growth hormone in the lower branches to help them fill. And just have fun with it. You can always just take a little at a time, and then so you're kind of confident. As long as you get the growth shape figured out like this, and we go from there. So this is a work in progress. It may take another few months before I have an ability to give it another haircut. But this is for a first go on how you take a conical shape tree or shrub and try to do a couple of balls. So this is just the first go. If this video is helpful, give us a thumbs up so YouTube knows to share this content with others. Also consider subscribing so you don't miss any of our other great videos. I will link a propagation playlist right here, which you might want to check out some of my other great propagation videos. For me, it's one of the funnest things there is you can do. You can get plants for free. Thanks for stopping by. Have a great day.